Greetings and welcome to Flesh Wound Horror Live. I am Flesh Wound Dan, joined by producer Todd.
Good evening.
How's it going today, producer Todd?
Things are going well. How about yourself? All this pleasantry nonsense.
Yeah. I'm doing well. I'm very excited. I should give you a program note right off the bat. This is the first of two live shows tonight. Immediately after this ends, we are going to be doing a Vinegar Syndrome halfway to Black Friday live stream. So come shop with us. Come ruin your lives through paying for. We will be doing all of that immediately after.
Don't we on this? I'm being good today.
You're going to have more temptation, though, because I don't think you pre-ordered the everything package.
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did. Well, whatever.
Well, I did. Well, yeah, that's the next show.
We'll talk more about that.
I did the almost everything one, but we'll talk about it next show.
Oh, okay. Sweet. So yeah, we'll get right into it tonight since we do have two shows, and you might be sick of us by the end of this one.
I'll definitely be sick of Dan by the end.
Well, shout out to Orc, shout out to JG, anybody else in the chat. Hope you're doing well tonight. We'll kick things off with our first film, which was the Secret movie for both AMC and also for Regal. I learned through some other people. Yeah, Cinemark. I guess it was the Secret for several chains. But bring her
and
back.
Not so secret that everyone figured out.
Yeah, process of elimination on this one. So bring her back from directors Danny and Michael Filippo. It follows a brother and sister reeling from the sudden death of their father, uncover a terrifying ritual at the secluded home of their new foster mother. All right. So I was very happy that this was the Secret film. I loved Talk to Me. I believe we all did. I don't think anybody was cold on that film. And I will say, first of all, before getting into the movie, mildly annoying that they kind of give away some of the plot in their little intro. I didn't think that was really necessary, but whatever.
I didn't think it was really a giveaway. Was it? I mean,
it kind of was. I mean, I guess you could kind of guess at it with the art and everything, but they do give away a plot point.
Well, you have to tell me which one it was in spoilers because it didn't even register to me. Not like that Amazon warning on that one movie, Blink Twice.
Blink Twice kind of ruined a major twist. It's not that level, but yeah. What up, Brian?
Yeah, that one was upsetting. So, but that's what I'm saying. I didn't catch anything on this. So
okay.
You have to tell me in the spoilers. So I'm curious.
I'll tell you in the spoilers. So I gotta say, I was pleasantly surprised. I think this movie does for teeth what Fulci did for eyeballs.
Yes.
There's some very, very gross scenes that I won't get. One in particular that I won't give away involving teeth. It was very uncomfortable and gross. The gore in this film is very, very gross and visceral. It's not a gore movie. It's not, it's not like we're seeing a bunch of people torn apart in this movie.
But when you get it, and it's not in the pleasant way. It's not fun Terrifier gore. I think it's a little different.
No, it definitely hits harder on a mental level. And it's amazing these Raka guys, basically the Aussie Jackass crew, are such good horror filmmakers.
Is that what they are?
Yeah, they were YouTubers before. They were basically
they were just doing Jackass stuff. You mentioned they were YouTubers. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's fun.
Yeah, they were. In fact, I think fairly big YouTubers from what I recall. And now they're excellent filmmakers. This is grief horror. Just grief turns you into a monster, and this is really, really good. I mean, Sally Hawkins, I've always been a big fan of her. definitely maybe the best performance you're going to see all year. She gets a lot in here. I mean, she's not just dour and downbeat. I mean, there's kind of a fun side to her character that they introduce early on, but there's more and more reveals throughout.
She's always kooky and a little off.
Yeah, she balances a lot, and she's really fucking good in this. You feel a lot of things for her. I'll just put it that way. And I'd say the same thing for the entire cast. Billy Barrett, who plays Andy, he's the older brother, and his half sister, who is played by let's see, what was her name? She I'm forgetting the actress's name. I'm sorry, but she's actually is can't blind, so that was interesting, being that she's playing a blind person, and how they kind of work that into the plot, which also makes it very scary, because there's certain scenes where it's like, do not touch that, do not touch that. Like,
Sora Wong playing Piper.
Sora Wong, thank you. I could not, I had it in my head and I just lost it. She's amazing. You like everybody, and that's kind of an issue recently with certain horror movies. It's tough when you have nobody to root for, but I really did find these characters real, sympathetic, while not being perfect by any means. I some of the best characters I've seen in a horror movie in a while. Billy Barrett's a potential star, who plays Andy. I really felt for him, and the backstory, and it's every single actor in this movie just hits a home run. They're so good. And is it better than Talk to Me? My initial feelings is I might put it above that, but I didn't rewatch Talk to Me, and I love that.
I'm going to tell you, Dan, you will put this one over because it's grief horror. I think that's where it's going to end up with you on this one.
There's Talk to Me too, to a degree. I mean, that's grief horror too. So
yeah, but that's fun grief horror. There's still, you can just watch that purely as a horror film, where this one it's 100% grief horror, and I'm over a lot of that. But this, because it's done so well, you care about the characters before anything else. It just works. It works so well. I avoided all the trailers, so I didn't really go in knowing much, and I don't believe. Which I did see the trailer when I saw whatever the movie 28 days later, when I went and saw that last night again. They played the trailer, so I was like, all right, they really didn't give a lot away in the trailer. It's just a lot of cool, just off-settling images. So
yeah, and there's some very unsettling images in here. Our cover character there, whoa. Like, it's not that they go too elaborate necessarily, but that is fucking scary. There's scenes in here where it's like, man, I'm actually feeling it, and I'm obviously a seasoned horror vet, but
I looked away more than a few times just from the visceral gore.
Yeah, I don't want to give that away, but again, Fulci for eyeballs, this does for teeth. Like it hurts. It hurts just looking at it. And
we're past 3 minutes. You can read this one.
Steak, that movie blew my ass, dick, and balls away. Nice. And I would have said hi to you, Steak, but I think YouTube might have hid that comment. Or no, I see it. Never mind. Coming in late for me, I guess. Yeah, this one is
careful with that, Dan. That's how you end up with children.
I must have missed it, but
that's another way too.
Don't want that. And even just up until the final shot of the movie, oh my god, dude, like, this is a proper horror movie. Horror is alive and well. And look, recently I've even been one to say it. There's A24 is not 100%. Even I will admit that. There have been a couple recently that, I haven't necessarily hated, but haven't blown me away.
That's a whole nother conversation, because A24 in 2025 is not the same it was in 2019 even.
Well, this
It's
movie begs to differ.
well, no. In the quality, they've gone more quantity than quality, like they used to be. There
I
seems
think
there's
they're doing more horror movies in general, and
yeah.
that could be,
Well, but it's been noticeable that they're hit and miss now, where their record wasn't, and it used to be them. And I think Neon has that top indie spot, to be honest. But I think because they pick and choose still, because they don't make movies still, they pick up movies. Whereas A24 has shifted from picking up the cool indie weird stuff to making their own cool indie weird stuff. But I mean, so it's not the same in like a guaranteed this is going to be A24. This is prime A24, but beyond that, it's appealing to just horror fans. Yeah, it's a great film.
It is, and I also wanted to.
No sophomore curse here.
No, not at all. I also wanted to throw out Sally Ann Upton, who plays the main caseworker in this film. She is one of the villains on my favorite prison show of all time, Wentworth. Great Aussie women in prison show. It is fantastic, and it was kind of cool seeing her play something a little different. She played Juice on that show, and she's a real fucking C word.
Cutie pie, is that what that is? Okay.
Cutie pie, exactly. You'll definitely want to stick it in Juice. It's fantastic. I mean, I have zero criticism of this movie. It's what I look for in great horror, and I'm sure this won't be the last time we're talking about it. I'm sure we will be talking about it at the beginning of next year, perhaps in our award show. And also, I don't want to name every cast member. It's not a huge cast, but Jonah Wren Phillips, who plays Oliver.
Yeah.
So good, man. Like, I would even go as far as to say iconic. Go out and see this movie. You owe it to yourself if you're a horror fan. Go see this movie. The official release date is
next Friday.
Next Friday, or Thursday, I guess. Now.
Yeah, we all know. Yeah, it's next Friday, but it's next Thursday. But yeah, the 30th is the date. But although I noticed that Jurassic Park is sticking to it old school. 12:01 is the first showings.
Oh, okay, that's bizarre. Actually, I'm surprised.
It's because it's a Wednesday, and a lot of times Wednesdays they just do them on Wednesday. But I think the studio dictates what time they can have them Thursday, and normally on Wednesdays, it's when people they don't do like an early Tuesday, but they're still doing midnight one. So,
oh, sweet. Okay, well
I'm not going to go see it at midnight because it's not 3D, so I'll see it the next day.
I am very curious who wins the battle of the box office this year, because
I don't think we have much head to head.
Well, I think Superman and Fantastic Four, that's going to be an interesting match.
They got a week apart. Well, you know what?
I'm talking overall. What's going?
Overall, that'll be interesting. But we can ramble on about that if we need something next show. If you guys want us to talk about it more, we will.
Yeah. Bring any topics you want to the Vinegar Syndrome stream right after this. We're kind of purposely not talking about certain things because we want to be ready to go for Vinegar Syndrome. All right, so we're gonna rate this. Todd, what say you?
Oh, I mean, it's obviously a 5.
Yeah, it's a 5 for me too. I hope people go out and support this one. I know it's tough. I mean, one of the other movies we're going to be talking about here in a bit, Final Destination, made a lot of money, and sometimes it's hard for horror movies to essentially do that back to back. So I hope people will go out and see this, because you should.
I think that's why this was purposely the secret movie this week, because it's going to give it buzz, and it gives Final Destination one more week to make all that money. And I think that extra week's going to give this one time for people who want more good horror to just go see it. I think it's good that they got a little bit of distance between them.
Absolutely. All right. So let's see if we can keep today's positive streak moving on with our next film from writer director Steven Mena. We have The Ruse. And in The Ruse, a disgraced in home caregiver fears for her life after being assigned to a mysterious elderly patient in a remote seaside home. All right. So, The Ruse, if you're unfamiliar with the director, he has done the Malevolence trilogy, which Malevolence, Bereavement, which is also listed as Malevolence too at some places, and Malevolence.
Starring, you left out the starring the Daddario in the Bereavement.
Oh yes, Daddario and Michael Biehn, I believe, as well, and also he did Brutal Massacre, a comedy, which is a fun horror parody with David Naughton and Gunnar Hansen. If you haven't seen it and you love Gunnar, watch Brutal Massacre. Yeah, it's fun parody. Came out around the same time as Behind the Mask, and Behind the Mask got more attention, but Brutal Massacre is well worth your time. And so, okay, so this is Hitchcockian thriller. It is also, if you love Columbo, there's elements of that, and I fucking loved it. They don't make movies like this anymore. I loved Veronica Cartwright of Alien fame as Olivia, our patient who may or may not be telling the truth about how vulnerable she is. You don't really know. This is kind of a whodunit. Why? It is really, really good. Is it a horror movie? I guess it depends. You want to throw a thriller in there. There's, again, I don't want to give away any twists and turns because this is a very twisty movie, but I just got done and I'm like, shit, this movie couldn't have probably cost, let's just say, well under $1 million. And
with the stock footage with the out of frame, with the frame rates out of whack. Yeah, I hope it didn't. I don't know if you noticed the driving footage. The cars are stuttering as they're going by because the frame rate was off. I was like, come on. But other than that,
I would say it's a damn good thriller. I like the Olivia character. She's very OCD, and this poor girl who's coming off of a patient that died, and again, reveals this is a hard movie to review because there's a lot that goes on. But what did you think, Todd, just in general? Because I wish we had more of this, and this is kind of a very small film that I think is slipping under everybody's radar. But I love whodunits, and I love Hitchcockian thrillers like this. What did you think?
I also loved it. It made me want to watch more like 90s psychological thrillers.
Mm-hmm.
Just that whole vibe of stuff we don't get anymore. Like, which all, goes back to the Hitchcockian stuff. But yeah, I thought this was just an awesome film. I don't know if it's going to blow anyone away, but if you're a fan of this genre and this type of, thriller, you're going to have a really good time. Like if you miss that era of stuff, this is perfect. I was just busting its balls on the frame rate because I was like, damn, stock footage. It just looked, or it was drone footage with the frame rate off. That's what it could have been.
I think it might have. It kind of felt like almost like, I mean, we're talking about a 5-second shot.
Yeah,
so I don't want over shitting on this, but I thought it was some AI thing. I was like, oh, okay, well
that's a frame rate issue. But yeah, because the car was stuttering.
Yeah,
so it could have been drone footage. It's drone footage or stock footage. It's some footage.
Most
with
people
the frame
don't
rate
do
off.
a lot of the drone footage now that you think is drone footage is actually not. They're doing a lot of AI and CG for that now. I'm not saying whether they did or didn't here. It just but I love the cast. Madeline Dundon, who plays Dale, our caregiver, I thought she was really good. There's a lot of potential red herrings. There's every character is really interesting in this. The mysterious neighbor, is he sinister? Is he not? There's a sort of pervert voyeur element to it too.
The Dan character.
You don't know. Maybe it's a Dan, maybe it's not a Dan, Todd. You just don't know. You got to tune in to find out. And also a really good Veronica Cartwright is the only kind of known actor in this, but it was a really nice display of her talents as Olivia, because you're not quite sure. Is she doing some of this? Is there some paranormal stuff afoot? I just love these kinds of movies. It's very old-fashioned in the best possible way, and I do hope people go see it. Something like this isn't going to have a long run in theaters, especially with Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible kind of filling up the screens. But if you get a chance, go out and support it. I think it's fantastic personally.
Yeah.
So Todd, what do you rate this?
I'm going to let you go first on this one.
I can't think of a whole lot to criticize. And I really did love it. I'm going to give it 4.5. Maybe you're bitching about the 3 seconds worth of
did it?
Like, fuck this movie.
No, see, I'm with you too, because I don't have a lot. That's just a little thing that.
That's it, but I did.
Well, if you noticed it too, then that's not just me. So, but I was just I think I'm a 4.5 also. There's nothing that's preventing me from it, but I think there's other films even in this genre that I could say are better, but for a modern one, it's pretty damn perfect. So that's why it's a 4.5.
It is. Yeah. Let us know in the comments too, because I quite frankly, I only know of one other person that I know personally that went to see this, and it's kind of sad because I think it deserves better. I really love these kinds of movies. So all right, what do we have up next here?
Hurry up, Dan.
We have Your Solo next. Hurry Up Tomorrow, which I do have. I'm going to read the synopsis. So you got to see this one. I did not. Hurry Up.
So jealous.
There's only so much time. It's sad when you use up all of your movies and you've got so many now. But all right. So Hurry Up Tomorrow from director Trey Edward Schultz follows. An insomniac musician encounters a mysterious stranger, leading to a journey that challenges everything he knows about himself. So, Todd, I meant to ask you about this first off. I know Hurry Up Tomorrow is also the name of I can't remember if it's an album or a song. I believe it's an album from the Weeknd. And I really got this is maybe potentially, I haven't seen the movie, but self-indulgent fart huffing on the part of the Weeknd.
It's definitely self-indulgent, but it's I know there's a lot of hate towards it, and first I'm going to say I don't listen to his music. I couldn't identify his music if you said that, but I could tell.
You know it from WWE. He had WrestleMania for 3 years in a row before the last one.
I remember hearing it, but I can't even tell you a WrestleMania theme since fucking Limp Bizkit. I don't remember the last one. I remember. I remember My Way by Limp Bizkit closing a WrestleMania with a very good
nothing over the last package. 20 years.
Yeah. But I do remember hearing him. He did a lot of his songs. Yeah, they're just poppy songs. I can hear it watching the movie. I go, okay, yeah, that's what I would expect the Weeknd to sound like. So it just kind of is poppy stuff. So yeah, it wasn't a fan going in. I don't hate his music. It's just okay, not something I'd listen to. It's got a nice beat. So yeah, trailer showed nothing. I'd seen the trailer and couldn't tell you what it's about. Saw the movie, couldn't tell you too much what it's about. But yeah, there's a twist at a point. It kind of turns into not mild spoilers on this one. I don't care. It kind of is a little kind of turns a little misery-ish. We'll just say that, but that's kind of obvious, I think.
I mean, if you had to slap a genre on this, I mean, obviously it kind of must have some vague horror.
I wouldn't say like horror, more a little bit of suspense, captivity type stuff. I don't know. It's okay. Sorry, I won't spoil it, JG.
But the Weeknd's kind of up his ass a little bit, I think.
I mean, yeah, but it wasn't like it's halfway. I'd say yes. It's not good. It is.
You're really selling it.
I mean, but I didn't hate it. It was just like a weird, like it was. Will I ever watch it again? No. Jenny Ortega does a weird dance that I don't know. Might get.
Does she get naked, Todd?
Okay, well, I will give Dan the titty spoiler. It's obviously she doesn't because it would be in the R rating, so it's not really a spoiler. No.
Okay.
But I think, Dan, if she did, you'd have heard about this the day the movie was released.
They would have been smart. A Weeknd should have talked her into it. He's like, look, I am just going to go full fucking self-indulgent on this.
I was told the mood is very vibey rather than plot focused. I 100% say that it's got a certain vibe. And didn't bother me. Like I said, it's not great, but it's. I hate that it's being okay. I'm gonna read. JG says, I hate that it's being criticized for that. I think vibey movies are fine, but then I like Myra Darren movies. Okay, so here's my thing with the. Like, I don't need, as long as I'm entertained, I don't need like a super plot is plot. The movie doesn't fall solely on the plot. So, because I can take a slice of life movie, whatever, unless it's a Les Anderson movie, but I'll bitch about that in the next show, I guess, right?
Next show, you probably have the rant.
But yeah, so it's, I don't know. Like, I can't say if you're a fan of The Weeknd, definitely go check this out. Like, it's no Purple Rain. I'll tell you that right now. It's no Purple Rain.
Yeah. Not a big fan of that either.
Dan, I will fucking end you right. Do not disrespect Purple Rain. That movie is goddamn perfect. It is one long music video, though. So that's why it's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, that, again, I'm just going by personal vibes. I haven't seen the movie. It seemed like something, if you'd have to be a big Weeknd fan to kind of like, is the impression you got.
This is the kind of movie I could have seen old A24 picking up. And I think that would have changed some perspective because it is a bit experimental. It is a bit different, but it's fine. I mean, I'm not, like I said, I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It was more of an experience or a vibe, as JG put it. And Dan already hates it because Jenny Ortega. LOL.
I liked Death of a Unicorn. I liked actually plenty of Jenna.
She is overexposed, but I get it. Yeah. She's on the verge of getting what's Buzz. We'll talk about her later. There's a lot of people on the verge and getting turned on for being overexposed. She's not there yet, but it'll happen. I have that feeling.
Yeah, I'll probably check this out. I'm sure once it hits VOD.
You probably won't. And you don't even need. There's no reason really to. I mean, for you, I mean, yeah. You got other.
I don't really. I'm not like. I think The Weeknd's fine. I mean, I've heard a couple songs that I've liked.
He's no Kid Cudi.
No Kid Cudi. Okay.
Kid
Cudi was in the news actually.
I know
the Diddy stuff.
Yeah. God damn it.
Yeah.
We know whose side I'm on that one. It's not Diddy's. He didn't make great independent cinema like some others, but that's another.
So what do you rate this one, Todd?
again, like I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It's weird. It's kind of an experience. But I'm going to give it a 3. I am going to put it above average.
Okay. Well, I'm curious enough to at least check it out. I will update my thoughts at some point. I meant to say at the beginning of the show, if anybody, Twitter's having issues, so I'm not ignoring your messages. I see notifications and it's not going to messages. So I know there's other people. I'm one of them. Just throwing it out there. So if anybody sent something, I'm not no-selling you because I keep
Dan,
seeing.
I realized that I botched something. Do your solo next. I have my solos together. I didn't realize that till just now.
Oh, all right. No worries. Let me go to my other. That works. All right.
Okay. Cool.
All right. So I've got a solo next. Kind of a weird week because like I got one showing of the next movie and didn't even seem like you really had it at all.
No, I didn't at all.
So this one might have been early. I know some people are listing it as coming out in June. So I don't know if I got an early screening for this. It wasn't advertised as such, but it's another movie that nobody's really reviewing. So maybe I did get it early. So my movie is Daydreamers from director Timothy Lynn Bowie. And in this film, this movie revolves around a familiar legend that ancient vampires hunted humans to suck their blood and were mostly destroyed. The living vampires cluster together, setting a strict law that they can only kill humans if they are exposed. So I'm kind of dancing around that synopsis because I don't think it was an English speaker. So just to expand on that a little bit, the movie follows two brothers, Nat and Marco, and Nat has been living in this community where basically these group of vampires have been abstaining from drinking blood with the hopes that at some point they can turn human again. So they've basically been starving themselves off human blood as much as they can. Marco, the estranged brother of Nat, has been living with a group of more decadent vampires who are still kind of following the law, but things get a little complicated when after they reunite with some little bit of anger and fighting, but they do kind of reunite. And things get complicated when a human love interest for Nat does discover that he's a vampire. And, well, the rules are they have to kill her, and he's not down for that. So that leads to a big struggle between Nat and Marco's group of vampires. So this is a Vietnamese vampire film. I think there's fantastic world building. Some really great action and wire work in this movie. It feels very grand. There's not a ton in the way of Vietnamese vampire movies, so it was a little bit different, and I really loved it. It's one of those films, if you're a fan of Asian horror or Asian style vampire films, you really should go out of your way to check this one out. I think Dark Star Pictures has it. So assuming that it's not going to go a little wider in June, hopefully you'll get a chance to see it before too long. Lots of just power struggles. Every character I think was really well developed and interesting. And I enjoyed the action scenes. This is a fun little gem. And I could see it maybe even going a little wider coming off of the success of Sinners because, vampires might be in right now. And this is a fun one. Some good fight scenes, interesting looking vampires. There's, little bits of Lost Boys here and there, some other pop Blade. And I liked it. It's hard to do anything truly original with vampires, and there's certain things we've seen vampires that try and refrain from feeding on humans or killing them at the very least. And I think there's some familiar ideas, but nonetheless, I really enjoyed what they did in this world. There would even be potential for follow-ups to this. Yeah, I thought the emotional stuff with some of the characters, Nat and Marco's family, the backstory, all of it, I think was really good. This is another gem. It's been a good week at the movies for me. And I give this one, God, I'm going to probably give this one, I'm going to give this one 4 stars. Maybe tempted to even go higher. I really did like it a lot. You should check it out when it gets a release. I believe it should probably have a Blu-ray, so hopefully we can all own this one physically. Todd, you should check it out too if you get a chance. All right. What do we got now, Todd? You're muted, so I cannot hear you.
My Solo.
Your Solo.
Picture on the screen. It's like right there.
There we go. Sorry. All right. So the next film that Todd's going to be covering, A Desert, and this is from Dark Sky, right? Dark Sky Films, I believe.
Dark Sky and Yellow Veil Films.
Yellow Veil Pictures, which does definitely mean that we'll be getting a Blu-ray. Okay. So this is from director Joshua Erkman, and in this film, a photographer's road trip takes a dark turn when he befriends a reckless couple, plunging him into a nightmarish neo-noir spiral of unpredictable horror. So I've heard good things, Todd. Did you enjoy this?
Yes, absolutely. It's the description, is accurate, but they were just like a desert couple, like a sleazy desert couple. Like I could see these guys related to Jeff Fahey from Psycho 3. So it's just that vibe. Like I was waiting for him to play with the lights in the corner at one point. But yeah, it's just like I mean that's the perfect description. I thought there were surprises. It's another being, kind of a mystery going on. I don't want to give away too much. But it's definitely, Dan, you're going to love this one when you see it. It's because it's just a little offsetting. I'm trying not to give too much away, but there's some just shady people.
Kind of a thriller.
Yeah, I wouldn't really call it a horror film. I mean, it's not a body count picture, but it is kind of in a seedy world. It's the kind of like when I'm in these desert cities, like driving. This is the kind of like the vibe I get from those people, and I want to talk to them. Not that I'm staying at these sleazy hotels. It wasn't even a sleazy hotel, just those middle of nowhere desert hotels.
There is something about just the setting of that, and I mean, obviously, Psycho. But
like the people who just live in those like desert cities in the middle of nowhere, it's like
I mean, not often, but growing up, like there were a few like kind of dicey like motels like that you'd stay at, and it's like, oh, okay, definitely a hooker over there. That guy's selling drugs. Like it's.
It's the townie hangout, like that stuff.
Yeah,
but I thought this was really good. Not not really horror. I mean, it definitely is genre appropriate, but not a high body count. So I know for some people that's gonna affect that, but it's a good story. I was very pleased with this one. Unfortunately, you didn't get to see this one, but this will be a Blu-ray I will be picking up.
Okay, sweet. Well, that's I know you're not buying everything, so that's kind of high praise from you.
That's definitely what I want to own.
Okay.
When you see it, you'll get why.
Okay. Well, I can be.
Yeah.
What a wonderful world that we're getting to see Dark Sky on the big screen.
It's not their first though.
No, they've had
Yellow.
a few things with
But it's
permanent.
always nice to see those smaller companies.
Mhm.
And this one was well deserving of the big screen. Unfortunately, I know you had like one time at a far off theater you couldn't do. If this gets wider, definitely see it. So yeah, I'm gonna give this one a 4.5.
Oh shit! Okay.
Man, I
Well,
really
you
did
make
dig it.
me regret not getting out to see this. This was another one that really kind of had very limited screenings, and they were all late. So
Yeah,
uh,
that's kind of why we had to split up this week's.
yeah, it was kind of a weird week, and it's like, all right, we're doing Vinegar Syndrome anyways. So yeah,
Hope you enjoyed the full moon episode we did yesterday. I know Ben
Yep.
mentioned he wasn't a fan of one of the films, not Amy, the other one.
Yeah, AI's in the chat, and yeah, those are the themes of the movies we reviewed on Wednesday. So go check that out. All right, so we got a big one up next, Todd. 14 years in the making, and that is Final Destination Bloodlines from co-directors Zach Lipovsky and Adam B. Stein. And in this film, plagued by a recurring violent nightmare, a college student returns home to find the one person who can break the cycle and save her family from the horrific fate that inevitably awaits them. All right, so
Off the
14
bat,
years.
well, I was going to throw this out. Off the bat, I went into this one completely blind. I managed to not see one trailer, one TV spot, nothing. I just knew I was going in to watch a new Final Destination film.
Okay.
And I did rewatch the other 5 before. And still, like, I know there's some weak ones, but there's not any of them that aren't fun. Some are better than others.
Yeah,
So
I don't hate any of them. Yeah.
Even the one I did, I don't now. Like the third one was the one I was the lowest on. I know fourth one is the one that gets the most hate, but I always enjoyed it because of the 3D. And the fifth, and this is the thing going in. The fifth is such a perfect bookend to the franchise. Full circle, great twist, brings everything back. It is a perfect 5-film series. So when this one got announced and after rewatching, I was like, you can't fuck it up. Like if you're bringing it back, I mean, it's like we've had some sequels that like we got the third and they're unneeded, but like that 5 is perfect. So
yeah,
and I see JG's reason for disliking Final Destination 4, not enough Krista Allen. I think we're all gonna agree with that. You can never have enough.
I think we were lucky to get her, period, though.
Yeah,
because that's
that was a big
unusual
deal.
casting. You know, when you've done soft core, like you don't normally pop up in bigger movies like that. So, but I love
it. And not one where she had to show the goods too, because that's another thing that would have been not uncommon. So she did it. Yeah. But
watch us get like Jessa Flux and Final Destination 7.
Dang. Anything's possible.
Yes. Fuck Aaron Brown, Misty Monday. Like that would be fun.
Don't sour the review. Go ahead. How many years, Dan? 12 years?
14 years.
14 years.
So going into this, obviously, I figured nostalgia was going to be strong. I didn't think it was quite that long, but time flies. And so I was pleasantly surprised. I think this actually has some of the best characters of any of the movies. I think Richard Harmon, who plays Eric, the pierced and tatted up guy, I think he might be one of my favorites of the entire franchise. He was funny.
He's a breakout actor. Like that performance, like won everyone over. Like he's like the it guy right now. Everyone's in love with them. Dudes, chicks, doesn't matter. Dan. But I get it. I mean, he's someone who's a little
when he started going like, oh no, I'm gonna die, and he starts like humping the trash truck of the garbage truck. I was like, this is funny. The humor hits in this. Like that is one thing. Like it's a genuinely funny movie. The humor hits. I
like the family.
Yep, family was likable. And obviously we're going to talk about one actor here in a second. But it is very CG heavy. It almost has to be. I mean, the nature of some of these kills, like
they've been though since the fourth one.
Yeah.
Well, no, the fourth one.
Than that.
There is CG in the other ones, but the fourth one is really where they turned it up.
Yeah, and it doesn't look bad, or I mean, there's a few shots here and there where I'm like, but the kills are really fun. I mean, and they don't give away as much as you would think in the trailer, which I think is cool. Because
which you told me after that yeah, they actually
explained why it doesn't. So I was annoyed, but I was like, okay, well, all right. That did.
Really, if you're swerving me, that's cool. I mean, I like that. I'd have no issue with that.
Yeah, I don't either. I thought that was perfectly fine. If I have some trust that you're not giving me something that is going to ruin it for me. But we've had some bad examples lately of trailers that really fucking hurt the movie. And so luckily this didn't do that. All the kills are fun. CG though they may be, I thought the one kill where, let's just say, somebody steps into the danger zone knowingly, I thought that was really good. The opening, which I think, I can't remember what they call it, the sky room or something, but basically the Space Needle, that whole thing was just a blast.
And I was gonna say, because they don't get, I mean, I don't want to give it away, but this is like they did something different with the premonition. And I'll talk a little bit more openly in spoilers, because when we get to Last of Us, we'll be in our little spoiler section. So yeah, but how they did it different. At first, I was unsure if I was okay with it, but it all just it made sense and worked. There was a part with the board. Were you like trying to look and see if anyone from previous movies were connected? Because I was trying to look every time we saw the
that and there may or may not be there. Yeah, we'll talk. But I was definitely watching to see, because Final Destination has always been a challenge to connect it from movie to movie. And we'll talk a little bit about where we might go from here, but we do have to talk Tony Todd. Obviously knew he was on the way out when he shot this. He looked far more gaunt and unhealthy than he did at the end of Stream. So I'm assuming if this wasn't the very, very last thing he shot, it had to be close. And he wrote his own dialogue, which I think it makes it so poignant.
Well, no, it wasn't even that he wrote his own. They just asked him to speak directly to the fans in the last take.
Yeah, it was sad in the theater. I was like,
that's speaking from the heart.
Yeah, I was watching it and I'm like, that's not acting. Like, he's just spitting right now. And a very powerful scene. And we'll talk a little bit more about Tony Todd, I guess, in our spoiler section. But one of the great actors of his generation, and I'm not going to just limit it to horror. Obviously, that's what he's known for, horror and science fiction. But Tony Todd was a fucking powerhouse. If you decided to give him a big push, he could have been a huge actor just in straight dramatic work. Like, he really was amazing. And I was worried about this film going in because the directors, I mean, Leprechaun Origins, not exactly getting me excited.
Then I met these directors. Good job, guys, this time.
Yeah. Dead Rising Watchtower, which I think was an okay zombie movie, if I remember right. But, kind of mixed. They weren't like...
I did enjoy Freaks.
Yeah, I do remember Freaks. That was kind of the sort of superhero horror sort of thing, if I remember right.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, that's the best way to put it.
Kind of like a horror X-Men, if I recall, something in that vein. But yeah, no, I think they delivered. The kills are memorable. I mean, the MRI sequence I thought was a lot of fun. There's the garbage truck, the lawnmower, like all of these things are incorporated and they're fun. I did think it was a little unusual. There were two characters that never interacted, and I felt there might have been a scene on the cutting room floor, but it wasn't really that important, I suppose. So Todd, we can talk a little bit more about this in spoilers, but for now, what do you rate it?
This is a hard one because I really, really enjoyed it, and I don't know exactly where I put it in my top, in my order of the franchise, but it would be at the top, not the very top, but it would be high in my ranking. I'm going to give this one a 4.5. I really did enjoy this one.
Okay. I am a 4. I really liked it as well. And I don't know, I didn't get to rewatch all of the movies, but it's certainly among the best. I mean, I want to say just based off memory, I'm probably putting it in the top 3 for sure.
That's where I think I would be at.
Yeah, I think definitely top 3. I think by and large, fans of the franchise are going to be very, very happy.
The one thing that I did want to mention, like I was curious going in, and because I did see this on the IMAX one, and in 3D in the franchise, they always took care of. They made very good use of the 3D, and they always did, like whatever gimmick they were using, they went all in. And that's also why I think the CGI went up a bit, starting with those, because of the 3D. So I was curious if they were going to, like really use the IMAX. I mean, I don't know if there's a way you really use it, but I mean, it opened up nicely, like in the sky thing, whatever it was called. But yeah, and through some of the sequences, so opening up the shots was cool. So that wasn't really taking advantage of it, but it definitely, had that big IMAX feel. So if you can see it in IMAX, I definitely say check it out in IMAX.
Okay. All right.
Because it was shot in IMAX in certain sequences. So
yeah. So yeah, let us know in the comments what you thought of Final Destination 6 Bloodlines.
And so we're going to go into spoilers. We're going to talk Last of Us. We'll probably just continue talking Final Destination and brief spoilers on the movies before we hit Last of Us. So fair warning, I'm going to throw the little gimmick on. Dan, tell them if they are going to bow out, where you can see us next.
All right, guys. So immediately after we end the live, pretty much within a couple minutes or so, we will be going live for our Vinegar Syndrome show. We might run a little bit over here, but be sure to tune in. We'll be hanging out, shop with us. We'll talk what Vinegar Syndrome unveils, what we're buying. And yeah, but it will be a separate link. So be sure to migrate over there. I don't know if it goes automatically to the new video. If you just,
I don't know, but I will drop the link there right now. I'm just pulling it up before, if they do want to bow out or want to go wait over there while we talk spoilery, I'm just going to drop this in the link very quickly. And there it is, guys. So now we are going to talk. Wait, did it drop? Yes, there we go. Now we are going to talk spoilers. Did the full spoiler warning gimmick. Okay, so you called it the space
movies first. Okay, not Last of Us. Okay, yeah. Well, not the literal Space Needle, but yeah, basically.
No, because I think of the Stratosphere in Vegas. That's the one, the gimmick I have here.
Okay.
That the whole having. When we started off, I was like, okay, are we just gonna have a throwback in the 60s or was it 50s? I don't know, one of those. Like throwback picture, and that's the way which I would have been fine with. I just, because we've never done like the premonition this way, so I wasn't sure, and I was like, okay, well, I hadn't watched any of the trailers, so I thought we were going to get Final Destination set in that era. So
yeah, I'm open to like exploring different settings with it. I always thought it might be kind of cool to have it on a boat. I think you might be a little more limited on your kills, but yeah, I am kind of curious to see maybe different, like you said, different eras. I just feel like they may not do it because it's like
No, I'm fine
we
that they
want the
didn't.
modern teenagers and everything.
No, and I get that, but they found a way to do it and then bring it to modern, which I was okay with, and well, since we're spoiler, we had little Tony Todd. Well, I was gonna say little Candyman, but
which I'm glad because I know everybody was like, well, he's deaf in human form. Like that was always the big thing, and I'm like, that doesn't really totally make sense when you look at his scenes throughout the movies. I was like, I always felt like he was somebody who obviously had either dealt with this before or had deeper information. I do think at one point they probably were going to make him some kind of an actual villain and not, you know, a more sympathetic character like this. Obviously he was dying, so this was going to be the final bow, and I don't know whether plans changed, but I enjoyed what they did with this. I kind of had a feeling when we saw her save him. I was like, is that Tony Todd? I get this vibe, and I was right. And I get why you say that, Dan, but then why was he the conductor voice of the Devil roller coaster? Well, yeah, I mean, again, I'm not saying that was always the plan. I don't know
think
if
that was
a particular plan. I mean,
that was literally a way just to have him in there. It wasn't even the fact you're really even supposed to recognize it. I think that went over a lot of people's head for a few years.
But yeah, I think that was more or less just a way to get him in there, but they didn't really have anything beyond that.
But I get what you're saying. You had your whole death head cannon going, and it does throw it off.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some stuff too in some of the dialogue that contradicts it a little bit, because why would fucking death even really bother? I mean, I don't know. I never thought it would have totally added up. You could have, like I said, made him a villain, which I guess if I were in charge of that, I would have. If I was making the call.
He was always just a cameo, though, and I think they could have gone that route. I'm kind of glad that they didn't. Now, I think if they would have done this in like Final Destination 3, I wouldn't have liked it. It would have over-explained the character too early. This being his send-off, I'm okay. I like it. It works. It packs an emotional punch. No, I mean, he's gone at this point. When we're watching it, we all know that. So it is, it's a cool moment.
It is a very cool moment. I mean, again, you can tell. I mean, he was sitting for most of it. Like, this couldn't have been long. He obviously knew it was the end, and that's pretty powerful shit. I'm not sure that I could go in and shoot a scene like that. That's amazing to me. And I had the pleasure of meeting him at several conventions over the years. He was always cool, always just a lot of fun, natural. I mean, he would have conversations with you. I always thought it was funny. He was somebody, he'd talk about like something new he made that was really low budget. And sometimes he'd ask you, it's like, so what did you think? And then it would be like, if you hesitate, it's like, it's like, oh, it was good. You're a liar. Even I know it sucked. Like he had a sense of humor. He was just a very nice guy. I mean, I keep repeating it. A lot of the people that I met, I mean, he wasn't among the first that I met, but they go back to like Fangoria and everything. They always tended to be really cool with their fans in a way that a lot aren't now. I mean, just that's kind of, not to say that they're dicks or anything, but that sort of personal experience is gone. And Tony Todd was one of the good ones. JG, when I met him, he shit on Michael Bay. He's good at making explosions. Understandable. Yeah, he was in The Rock, of course.
Right. So spoiler wise, I think that's everything. Like some cool deaths. It was
cool deaths. I don't really have anything much on Bring Her Back. It was just they kind of gave away the possession thing, which is not really a huge spoiler, but it is a spoiler.
Yeah, Okay.
So.
Yeah, I didn't even register.
Yeah. So that's all I had on that. We'll talk briefly about Last of Us. As you guys know, my enthusiasm has been waning a lot. So I'm going to be brief on it. But Last of Us season 2, episode 6, The Price. So you know what, Todd? It's what's funny about this. I did enjoy this more than previous episodes.
Oh yeah.
But that is because it's a fucking flashback and Joel's in it.
No. But see, here's the thing. I get that, but it makes you look at the first few episodes differently. You get the full story. You see both their sides.
Yeah.
You get the perspective now. It does remind you how much better the show was with Joel, and I think I'm going to watch those first 2 episodes. His arc of this season before I watch the last episode. But yeah, I was like, God, it was just so good. I mean, and the whole, as a parent, it hit. There's a lot going on in this episode, and I think this is the best episode of the season. You get the perspective now that you didn't have watching it. If you've fallen off or you weren't sure and you haven't watched this episode, 100% watch it. Yeah, it was the best episode of the season.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I mean, Ellie and Joel together are
and
great.
It's a Buzz Lightyear prequel. We even get her in the helmet and everything.
There you go.
I was done. I could not stop laughing when they put her in a fucking spaceship. It may sound like I'm bullshitting if you haven't watched it. They literally put her in the fucking spaceship, and she looks like goddamn Buzz Lightyear.
The Buzz Lightyear and the Mr. Potato Head memes are rough, but I'm being honest though. Like, she doesn't carry a show on her own, and the stuff outside of Joel is just not interesting. It just is, and I'm not coming at this from like women can't lead shows. Of course they can. I love a lot of female shows, but here it doesn't work. The teen romance, it just doesn't work. I don't give a fuck, and I'm not the only one. And
I know, but it is a certain demographic that is. The Ellie thing, the Bella Ramsey. This is what I brought up early. When they turn hard, and they have definitely turned on her.
Oh yeah, I mean the ratings have been reflecting it. I mean it's not a very buzzworthy show anymore. So, but yeah, I mean this was good. Did it sell me for? I mean, obviously I'm going to finish the last episode, but am I going to watch season 3? Maybe eventually, just because I've gone that far. But
see, Dan wants to suck it up and do it for you guys. He does this all the time. It's the whole thing.
I don't know that there's a lot of people that care if we do it, but if you do care enough, it's going to be like 2 years probably. But
no,
if
they
you
already
do
announced
care
the
enough,
next season. They announced when it was. It is. Let's see if it says.
They should get to it quick because a long break. I don't know.
No, it doesn't say the date, but I know they announced the date, and I want to say it was 26. That's next year.
That's the opposite of what I've heard, but okay. Yeah, I don't know, but irregardless, I'm kind of like, I don't particularly care about the revenge portion. I'm just not. I'm not engaged.
Oh no, well, it's late 2026, early 2027 is what it's saying right now.
Well, if you demand it, we can stick with it, but
that just means Dan may not cover it, because if everyone else is here and watches it, we'll cover it. If it's just me, we won't.
There does come a certain point where I don't like just being a broken record and shit on everything.
Then that's fine though, Dan. But if other people on the show want to watch it and talk about it, they can.
You go for it. So yeah, but great acting with Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey together, and yeah, it's a good tie-in. But I don't think it's enough to get people back.
We'll see how it closes. I'll be honest. Do you
care about the romance?
Doesn't bother me. I
didn't say it bothered me. Is that something though that's interesting to you? Do you care?
It hasn't had a chance to develop yet. I mean, there's nothing. it's just that's the least of the things. Like the loss of such a strong character is the issue. It's not the romance.
Mhm.
So
The
I don't
most
know.
interesting characters do have a habit of kicking the bucket on this show.
So there's still, we'll see where it goes. I mean, I'll be honest, like I was starting to say that the trailer for next week's episode, I was like, yeah, no, it's back to I don't care. So we'll see how we play out.
There we go. So we'll end on indifference, and yeah, so I guess we're ready. We're gonna head over. You can drop the spoilers. We're gonna head over in about 2 minutes to.
I know I have it set. It's set for 7, so I can change it up.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
go. We'll as soon as Dan's ready, I'm gonna switch the time, and we'll just go.
all right, so we'll be ready here shortly. Once again, come hang out with us. Vinegar Syndrome. We'll talk the sale. We'll react to everything. We got some other rants and topics.
I got a bunch of synops release notes from Don May, so we'll go over those. Some cool stuff coming.
Okay, sweet. All right, guys. We will see you over there. Thanks for watching. See you
Money's on the dresser.